Happy April Fools. We're gonna be ranking all of the restrooms in Disneyland. I thought this was a really funny, silly little idea, and we're actually gonna do it. I'm gonna pee everywhere. We're gonna be ranking all of them based on the 3 following criteria: vibe, cleanliness, and size. Now, vibe is like the decor. Is it loud? Is it quiet? Both can be good for certain reasons. The cleanliness, does it smell? Is it clean generally? And the size, how many stalls are there? Do you have to wait in line for a long time? Is it ample room to get by people when you're going to the stalls? All of these things we're gonna consider, and we're gonna let you know what is the best bathroom at Disneyland. I know you've all been wondering. I have to pee, let's go. Our first stop is the Disneyana restrooms, right at the right on the main entrance. In this little alcove back here. Reporting live from our first restroom. I had to pee so bad when we got here, so I used it genuinely. And this bathroom is really small. So for size, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 10 because the pathway between the sinks and the stalls, very small. Not many stalls in the bathroom. I think it's like one of the older bathrooms in the park. I'm pretty sure it's been here since the opening. As far as cleanliness goes, the smell is the classic Disneyland bathroom smell, not good. I'm gonna give that a 3 as well. The stalls themselves are pretty old and rickety, they're kind of rusty. Vibe, 1. There's no vibe. The vibe is, this is a bathroom. Get in and get out. There was no mirror anywhere. Negative points. What am I supposed to do with that? So the average ranking for this bathroom is 3 out of 10. Disneyana restrooms. Okay, we're here at the bathrooms next to Plaza Inn between Tomorrowland and Main Street. I really like the vibe of this. It's nice, it's demure. Took a couple pictures, like a little chandelier, a little like powder room vibe. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. For vibe. And cleanliness, this is another one that has a weird smell most of the time. I'm gonna have to give it like a 3 for that. For size, I'd give it like a 4. It's, I think, one of the older restrooms in the park, so it's kind of small, but it's not the smallest. That brings the Plaza Inn restroom to a 5 out of 10. We're at the restrooms next to Carnation Cafe. 1 out of 10. I can't even get in. The line is so long, bathroom's so small, just go somewhere else. The bathroom's next to City Hall, on the left side of the entrance to Disneyland. Size, very small, very small. Maybe like a 3 out of 10 size. Once again, one of the older bathrooms in the park. Vibe was like, okay, actually. They had cute little flower tiles on the floor. I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5 for cleanliness as well. A 4.3 out of 10 for the City Hall bathrooms. All right, we're here next to Autotopia and the restrooms here. I do like that these restrooms are like a little hidden, so there's never really any crowd back here. I will give it a 2 for a vibe. It's just boring, nothing. It's giving nothing. I changed my mind. I give it a 3 for vibe because the sign for the women's restroom has an alien on it. I think that's kind of cool. For cleanliness, it's a 6. It's a good, clean bathroom. For size, I'll give it a 4. A 4.3 out of 10 for the bathrooms next to Autotopia. We are outside the bathrooms at Space Mountain exit, and I love these bathrooms. The size, it can't be beat. I say it's a 10 out of 10 size bathroom. There are so many stalls, and I feel like it's the biggest one in the park. Maybe it's the same size as other ones, but it feels bigger. Cleanliness, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. Pretty good, pretty clean. Didn't smell. And vibe, like a 4. It's not really a vibe. It could be way cooler, way more space-like, but it just didn't get there. It's a 6.6666666 out of 10 for the Space Mountain bathroom. Now we are by the bathrooms by Rose Tavern, kind of in between Fantasyland and Frontierland. Size, I will give it a 7. It's got 2 long aisles of stalls. It's got a good amount of sinks and a good amount of mirrors. The decor is not really there, but they were playing Beauty and the Beast music, which I like. Some of the signage is like puppets still from when it was Pinocchio. So it's a little confused in its vibe. I'll give it a 5. And in terms of cleanliness, I did almost slip and fall on my butt because of all the water on the floor. So I'm gonna give it a 4 for cleanliness. Could do better. This one's got a 5.3 out of 10. Here we are at the King and Queen restroom. It's right between the entrance from the Castle to Fantasyland and right by the Alice in Wonderland ride. And vibe, honestly, it's a 10 out of 10. The decor is so cool. Every stall door is a different card, like the 3 of diamonds or whatever. And then around the top has tiling that's like hearts, like the Queen of Hearts. As far as bathrooms go, I don't know if the decor could be any better. You know what I mean? Size, it's like a 4. It's kind of small, but not huge. It's right in the middle. Cleanliness, it's 5. It's fine. It's good. Yeah, clean. The Alice in Wonderland bathroom gets a 6.3 out of 10. The vibe really helped on that one. We're outside the Fantasyland Theater at these restrooms here, and I like that they're called Prince and Princess. I think that's very cute. The vibe, it was basically nothing, except there was a nice little like tile detail at the top of the wall next to the ceiling. I like that. I'll give it like a 5. Cleanliness, I'll give it like a 6. good and clean, and it wasn't very busy, so it's easier to keep the less busy bathrooms clean, you know what I mean? Now, when there's a show going on at Fantasyland Theater, these scores might be completely different. For size, I'll give this one a 5. It's a good sized bathroom. The total rating for this one is a 5.3 out of 10. All right, we're here at the Toontown restrooms, and they are just awful. There was a long line to get in. I didn't even want to wait in the line, so I just went and pretended like I had to wash my hands. You would think that the bathroom in Toontown would have a good vibe. It has basically no vibe at all. It's got like the colors of Toontown, but nothing fun, nothing quirky. Vibe is a 4. Cleanliness, it smells terrible. There are children here. I know there are children everywhere. It's Disneyland, but there's a heavy concentration of children in Toontown because there's a playground. You know, it's kind of really made and targeted towards kids specifically. For cleanliness, I'm going to give it a 2, just based on smell alone. For size, I'm going to give it a 3 because the line was so long, I couldn't even see the full size of the restroom. Too small. The average score for the Toontown bathroom is 3 out of 10. Boo, boo, tomato, tomato. All right, next up, Sawyer Island. Let's go. Okay, this may be the smallest restroom on the property, like a public-facing restroom. There's 2 stalls, and literally when you open the door, like the sink is there and the stalls are there. There's nowhere to wait inside the restroom. But this is Sawyer Island. These are really just restrooms for emergency use only. It did the job. The vibe, honestly, was pretty cool, even though it was small. It has cool little lighting fixtures in the ceiling. So I would say vibe. Vibe is a 6 out of 10. It's nice and clean because it's not a heavy populated area, so I think cleanliness is, there's no smell. Cleanliness is also a 6. Yeah. Size, that's a 1. I mean, that's like really small bathroom. Bonus point, however, for a lot of area outside the restroom to wait for your friends who are in the restroom. So with all that considered, the average ranking for this Sawyer bathroom is 4.6 out of 10. Let's go check out the other one. On the other side of Sawyer Island, next to Fort Wilderness here, we have some more restrooms, and these are like 1-person restrooms. Much bigger, much better. It's just very chill. You're in your own little room. They had a cool like antler light fixture above the mirror. I liked it. Vibe, I'm gonna give it another 6 out of 10. Cleanliness, there was some like toilet paper on the ground. I'd give it like a 5. There was no smell, so that was good. And size, I mean, it's relative because like it's small, there's no multiple stalls, but in its own restroom, it's a big restroom because you're only there by yourself. I'll give it like a 5. Overall, this one gets a 5.3 out of 10. It does take a little bit to get to Sawyer Island if you want to go use these restrooms, but if you're here, use the one by Fort Wilderness. All right, we're here at the Rancho del Zocalo bathroom. It's right at the divide between Fantasyland and Frontierland. The walkway going through it, it is terrible. It's a 1 across the board because I can't even get in because the line is always like 20 minutes long at least, and it's the bathroom for the restaurant. It's the bathroom that's right by the princesses, and so there's all these little kids that have to use it immediately from Fantasyland, and it's just terrible. Just go somewhere else. We're here at the Adventureland entrance restrooms, and I think they recently updated these and added a lot more stalls, at least to the women's side. As far as size, I would say it gets like a 7. Like, it's pretty good, a lot of stalls. As far as cleanliness goes, it was average. I would say like a 5. Vibe, honestly, vibe was hitting. Like, they have really cool like tile work on the walls. It's like animal, like jungle vibes. So I would give it an 8 for vibe. So for the Adventureland bathrooms, we got a 6.6 out of 10. We're by the Julep Bar restrooms, and this one to me always has a line. I would say this is about a 5 in terms of size. It's a medium size, but somehow it's always super busy. I think maybe because it's also next to the Tiana restaurant, the Julep Bar. It's kind of got a lot of traffic throughout this back portion of New Orleans Square. People coming off the train. As far as vibe, it's a very basic vibe. Maybe a 4. The tiles are the colors of like Mardi Gras colors, so that's kind of fun. But other than that, it's not giving anything else. Cleanliness, there was a bit of a smell. And there's usually always a bit of a smell. Even a smell outside the restroom here. Sometimes there's like a sewery smell. Cleanliness, I'm gonna have to give it a 3. That's a 4 out of 10 for the Julep bathroom. Next one. All right, we're here outside the Hungry Bear restaurant. Well, it is a restaurant, but I meant the restroom. This is a pretty good one. Honestly, it was pretty good. Cleanliness, I would say like a good solid 6. There was no smell. Vibes, I really liked the vibes in there. They had a cool little like bear carving thing or like stone art piece, and it was like dim lighting. So I don't know, just like vibes were hitting. I'm gonna give it a 9 for vibes. In terms of size, pretty good size. Lots of sinks, which I like, and several big mirrors. I'm gonna give it a 7 for size. That brings this one to a 7.3 out of 10. Good job, Hungry Bear. All right, we're in Galaxy's Edge right next to the Marketplace bathrooms right here. And in terms of size, like a 4, I would say. They're an okay size. But because Galaxy's Edge isn't that busy, you don't really have to wait to get into the bathroom. The vibes are interesting because it's very Star Wars vibey. However, I really hate when they put the dryers above the sinks. And it's all in the middle, the sinks, the soap, and the dryers. So you're drying into where the water just was. Sometimes you're turning on the sink accidentally and you're getting re-wet. I don't like that. Also, the mirror is like Star Wars vibesy, so it's like got like black kind of smudgy all over it, and it's like cloudy, and I'm like, okay, I need like a mirror so I can see myself actually. All of those things take the vibe down, even though it's a cool Star Wars vibe. I'm gonna give it like a 4 for vibe. And in terms of cleanliness, it's clean. 6. The Marketplace bathroom gets a 4.6 out of 10. Okay, we're at the bathrooms by the first order area of Galaxy's Edge by the blue milk stand. I'm going to give it the same score as the other one, 4.6 out of 10, because it is the same bathroom, just in a different location. And that's it. Okay, after editing this video, here's my final tier list ranking of all the bathrooms in Disneyland. I realized that I didn't rank some of them quite as accurately as I thought I did because of the order that I went to the bathrooms in. However, this order I feel is accurate for me right now in this time and space. And also it doesn't matter that much because it's a silly little April Fool's video. I did make this tier list on Tier Maker, so you guys can make your own tier list and share it with me or leave it in the comments down below. Thanks, have a good April, bye.